sometimes I just blame it on age, and sometimes I blame it on just being too busy. But I've never forgot the day, the place, the day Jesus came into my life. Because that's how real it was. If you can't remember where it was and when it was, it probably wasn't. Amen. Did you hear me? I said, if you can't remember when it was and where it was, it probably wasn't. Because if you really got saved, I said, if you really got saved, old things passed away. All things are going to take you. Christ Jesus. Some folks thought they wasn't saved until they were carried into a Sunday school room to fill out a card. Told you wasn't saved until you came back that night and was baptized. Some folks was told they wasn't saved till they joined the church. Some folks was told they wasn't saved until they completed a course. But I want to tell you, the moment you called upon the name of the Lord, He saved you. What a day, what a day, what a day that is. Amen, amen. We're glad to be back in the house of God this morning. We're expecting great things today in this service. God's gave me a series I'm starting today for the next 3 weeks on the life of Joseph.
Thank you, Lord.
Joseph had some haters in his life. Don't nobody here have no haters in their life. But if you're doing anything or becoming anybody, you're going to have some haters along the way. Amen. Joseph had to learn to deal with his hurts. 2018 is a new year. We can stay in Egypt. We can stay in bondage. We can stay less than what God intended for us to be, or we can overcome our hurts. Amen. We're going to overcome our hurts. Then Joseph had to overcome his hatred. Had to forgive those that had done him wrong. If you're going to do great things this year, there's 3 things you're going to do. You're going to overcome your haters. You're going to overcome your hurts. And you're going to overcome your hatred. If you can learn to do those 3 things, this is going to be the year of abundance, the year of plenty, the year of milk and honey. You say, well, I've heard that about them other preachers. Well, they were just trying to get your offering. I ain't trying to get nothing from you. I'm here to tell you. We're excited. I met with a friend of mine Wednesday. He was supposed to be here this morning, but we postponed him being here. He teaches debt-free living. And that's the way they operate their business. And they got a very, very, very successful business. And everything's done debt-free. They don't borrow any money from any banks. And he feels like it's time for the church to begin to set a standard to the world. We're $19 trillion in debt. When we get to the point of having been in debt in this country at $23 billion, there's no way possible to get out of it. There's no return. Because you cannot, there's not a printing press that's available today that can print money that quick. If you cut on the printing press and never cut it off, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, there's not enough printing material to print that kind of money. We're headed that way if something doesn't change. The world doesn't need to set the standard. The church needs to set the standard. And I am blessed to say today that this church, as of this morning, is totally debt-free. Preacher, we received a gift this week that paid off all of our land, plus paid off all of our remodeling. We're so thankful for that. Not just the remodeling that we've done, but the remodeling that we was hoping to do. Out of it, Miss Cameraman, we're getting a brand new camera system. It's going to be installed, and God's been good to us. And I want to tell you, it feels good as a pastor this morning to be standing here saying we don't owe one dime on the land next door in the building, or anything that we're doing, or anything that we want to do. Amen. 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 We ought to give the Lord a better hand clap than that here. Christ in you. Lord, you've showed us already what 2018 can be. If we'll be obedient, we can eat the fat of the land. We can walk in the abundance. We can walk in healing. Father, we're stepping out this year, claiming God's promises, standing in the promised land this year. Oh God, take us this year to places we've never been. Let us do things we've never done. Let us be what we've never become. This is the year we're claiming God 2018 to break through, to have our breakthrough. God, to be the people that you intend 2 prisons this year. Last year, some of you went with us as we went down to South Georgia. What a blessing. What a blessing that was for us to be able to go in and bring their children of prisoners in to see their dads. It was a wonderful day. And they didn't have to see their dad behind bars or even sit at a table. We were given a gymnasium and we was able to feed them, have games with them, have music, have prayer. And it was a wonderful experience. First time it was ever done in Georgia for the church to be able to bring the family. It's one day, we call it One Day with God. And to bring the families of those prisoners. Well, the Lord has opened the doors for us to be able to go into a ladies' prison and do the same. And some of these kids hadn't seen their mothers since their mothers have been locked up, and vice versa. Some of these boys and daughters hadn't seen their dad. But we have an opportunity here at this church to bring them both together. And so we have to get you signed. If you want to do this, it'll be, I think, in February, and it will be our first time to go in. If you want to be a part of this, we have to get you signed up today. We have to get your name and everything turned in to the state. Make sure that you're okay. You gotta be have a background checked on you. Make sure you get in. But I want to tell you something. You won't ever be the same. How many of you went with us last year? It's a great experience, and we really need folks to go. It takes a lot of people to put this on. You're not just, you say, well, I have something to do. Absolutely. There's a lot to do. And it's a great day. And if you can, you need to go. You need to do something. You need to do something for Jesus. Amen. Amen. You said, well, some of you may have the mentality, well, those guys, girls, they deserve to be in prison and they shouldn't get no visitors. That may be so, but their kids don't. Those kids didn't do anything wrong. They did the first thing wrong. And so we're not just doing it for the guys and gals that's in prison. We're doing it for their children. And it was a blessed thing that happened last year. And the Lord has opened doors for us to do it twice this year. And so please see Kim or Leanne after church. Don't forget. If you forget, I can't get you approved. I have to have your name today to get you approved. We're getting ready to receive our offering. I told you a while ago we were debt free, and some of you may think, well, church don't need our money no more. We didn't need your money before we were debt free. From the very first day we started, there's no family in here. We needed your money. We still don't need your money. But you need to give your money because you won't be blessed. The man that paid all this off for us told me a story Wednesday. He said just 6 years ago, he was down to his last $200 and had thousands of dollars of bills. He lost everything he had. Nothing. FDIC took everything he had, and I know the story. I won't go into all the details. If he wants to tell it, I'll let him. But he told this story. He said, I had $200. He said, God, if you'll bless me, I promise to be a blessing. The Lord said, how much you got on you right now? He said, I got $200. He said, I want you to give 100 of it away. He said, Lord, that's 50% of everything I got. He said, I want you to give it away. He said, that man you passed a while ago, he said, I want you to go back to him and I want you to give him $100. My friend gave this man $100, and the man, instead of saying thank you, he said, you were supposed to do this. You know that, don't you? He said, no, I don't know that I was supposed to do that, but I'm doing this. He said, yeah. He said, I got up this morning and I prayed. He said, I'd sent my wife and kids to be with their mom to live there because I don't have a place to live with them right now. He said, I've lost everything I have also. He said, everything I got's in this grocery buggy here. He said, but I asked God, I said, I got a job interview in the morning. He said, I asked God, if you give me $100, I'll go buy me a suit from the thrift store and some pair of shoes, and I'll look like something when I go for this interview, and I'm convinced they'll hire me. But Lord, I need $100. And he said, and you brought me the $100. He said he got home, and right before that he went into the pawn shop, and he had a gold piece he tried to pawn. And the man told him to give him $3,000 for it. But his grandfather was a Methodist preacher that had been captured in World War II. And his grandfather didn't have a Bible. He said, if I ever get out of this prison, I won't ever be without a Bible. He memorized every word of the New Testament. And And his grandfather gave him this gold coin and said, one day you'll find a preacher. He said, I want you to give it to that preacher. So he walked in that pawn store and the man said, I'll give you $3,000 for it. He said, but in 30 days you got to bring me $4,000 to get it back. And he said, if I didn't have $3,000, I knew I wouldn't have $4,000. I walked back out. He said, I'm going to lose. I might as well just go under with this gold coin. And he said he went home and he said, he opened an envelope up and he had put a bond on some piece of property years ago. And he said he opened it up. There was $3,100 in it. The $3,000 for the coin he didn't pawn and $100 he gave away. His grandfather said, you're going to meet a preacher one day that I want you to bless, and he's going to be a blessed man, and I want you to put that gold coin in his hand. Well, I have the gold coin. It's mine. That man that had lost everything and was down to $100, 6 years later was able to pay off everything this church owes. Because God spoke to him and said, give. Some of you are waiting till you get blessed to give. I want to tell you something. Let me tell you from experience. If you can't give $10 on $100, you won't never give $1,000 on $10,000. And if you can't write a $1,000 check, you can't write a $10,000 one. And if you can't write a $10,000, you can't write a $100,000 one. If you can't write a $100,000, you sure wouldn't give $1 million. Some of you ask me, how did you get to sit up there in that suite up there at that game? Because my friend gave University of Georgia $1 million. When you do that, they'll let you sit anywhere you want to. They put us in that place, fed us, made us feel like we were celebrities. But when you can give $100 when you only got $200, that's where it starts at. Everybody here's got, you know, the poor lady, she didn't have a mite, just a penny. But she gave it. Jesus said, that lady right there is giving more than all of it. Now listen, folks, I'm not here trying to get you money. We don't need your money. We're doing pretty good right now, better than we've ever done. Everything's paid for and we got money in the bank. And I don't take a salary, so it don't cost much to run this place no more. I don't need your money, but you need to give. If you're going to be blessed. Some of you are not tithers, you're tippers. And not good tippers. If you want to be blessed, I want to tell you something. Not only have I seen it in my personal life, I told the church Wednesday when I first got saved, I was raised in church all my life, but we weren't tithers, we were tippers. And I wondered why we were poor all of our life. My wife, little Methodist girls, we could jump pews and they just sit there the whole time. But she taught me how to give. And I thought, man, the church is doing fine without me. They don't need my part. But she taught me how to give. And she told me taught me how to give not just my tithe, but to give offerings. And you that know Patty real close know she's the biggest giver of anybody I've ever known in my life. But we went from not having nothing to having a whole lot. And I'm not ashamed to say that. I don't have to be. God's blessed us. God's blessed us with homes and properties, and we're blessed. And not because I stole it, not because I cheated anybody, but because God blessed us because we learned to give. You're never going to be blessed unless you learn how to give. And everyone, listen, the field's planted. There's a good ground right here. This field's planted. You need to put something in it. When these men come by today, you need to put your tithe and offering in it and see what God will do. Did he not say this? Try me, saith the Lord. See if I won't open the windows of heaven and pour you out blessings. Blessings that you can't contain. I'm telling you, you're looking at a pastor that the blessing of God is running him down and running him over. Amen. I'm not ashamed to say that God's blessing this church through me. Amen. God, because we are givers. You can't, I said I'm going to see if I can outgive God. God just laughed. You can't outgive God. But plant a seed today and see what God will do. Let's pray. Father, we thank you for the tithe and offering. You said, will a man rob God? And they said, how have we robbed you, Lord? You said, in tithes and offering have you robbed me. God, we know that no man can hold you up and take anything from you. But God, what we do is we rob you of the opportunity to bless us. So Lord, I pray for them that are cheerful givers today. We don't need no grudging money today. stingy people, let them keep the $5. It ain't going to make or break me. Let them take it home with them and lose it sometime this week on foolishness. But God, them that are want to be blessed abundantly to have, Lord, for their tires to get another 10,000 miles. The hot water heater to last another 5 to 10 years. The alternator on the car not to burn out. Lord, for those, God, it ain't going to come just in the mailbox. Your blessing comes in a lot of ways. Other people putting on roofs, but some of these have got roofs that are 40 years old. The Bible said Moses' shoes didn't wear out, his eyes didn't get dim. Oh, Father, in the name of Jesus, open up the windows today and bless us, God, abundantly. And see what we will do. I'll bless you, God. I'll bless you. I'll bless you, Lord. God, we will build kids' church to reach children. We'll go into prisons. God, we'll be a blessing in our community. Bless us to be a blessing. In Jesus' name, amen.
That we have around our sanctuary. We just ask that y'all just place y'all's loose change in there. What it does is it helps support our children's ministry all the way from nursery to the youth group. The second thing we have is our car decals. They're $5 each, and if you'd like to purchase them with your card, we just ask that you buy 2 or more. We have a couple of events coming up. The first one is Winter Jam. It'll be on February 3rd. It's $30 per student. And it includes dinner, your ticket, and a refillable soda for the entire event. Money is due on January 31st. And for any information or questions, you'll see Alyssa Turner for that. And also, if you would like to sponsor a student, because we have a couple of students that would like to go but need a sponsor, you can see Ms. Kim Duffy right after service. On March 18th, we have an event. The Hopkins family is going to come, and we will have a preview of their songs posted on Facebook as the time gets closer. That following Sunday, we're going to have Mr. Jeff Grant here, and he will be teaching how to live debt-free, and that will be on March 25th. And lastly, we have our summer camp, and that we are currently planning, and the dates that we have for that is July 16th through the 19th, and that's a Monday through Thursday. And we'll have more information for that as the time gets closer. And we just ask that y'all just stay up to date with our Facebook, and we'll keep stuff posted on there. Thank you.
Shadows deepen.
Amen, amen. Now, you heard those announcements. If you've got a kid, we want every kid to go with us on every event. We have a policy here, we have no kids left behind. If you can't pay $30, if you could pay $5, if you could pay $1. But every kid will get to go. We'll make sure of that. So sign your kids up. We won't leave no kid behind, I can promise you that. That goes. We've always been able to get sponsors. We announced it last week on Facebook, and a lady that doesn't go to church here saw the Facebook and said, I want to sponsor some of those kids. And I said, well, we want you to. Amen. We want you to. Got some kids that needs a sponsor. So I know how it is to be one of those kids that didn't get to go. But I said, if I have a pastor, won't be no kids that don't get to go. So I'm pastoring, so everybody gets to go. Amen. Let's look together this morning in Genesis chapter 37. Joseph has to overcome his haters. Has to overcome that if he's going to be in second command of all of Egypt. It's not just a position that Joseph is wanting. A lot of people think, man, if I just had position, if I could just be the CEO, if I could just be the president, if I could just get that position and the community, then everything would be okay with me. Position may give you power, but that's not what Joseph is realizing, that the reason God's putting him in position is putting him in a position that he might be a provider. That's right. Everybody's life depends on Joseph's life. He doesn't just want a position, folks. He wants to be a provider. And so he's going to have some haters in his life. And then you that know the story, and if you don't know it, be here next Sunday. Man, Joseph had some hardships. I'll tell you something, before you get in the promised land, there's going to be some hardships. There's going to be some things you're going to go through. Folks, if you get victory in your life, you're going to have to get some tough skin. All you sissy Christians, your days you've had today in the sun, it's over with, honey. We got to get some tough skin from here on out. Little things that hurt us, people hurting their feelings. You didn't say that about my new shoes. Well, I'm not looking down this year. Put them up here on this platform. We'll see them. Amen. Got to get over some of the hardship, folks. We're going to have some hard times. It rains on the just and the unjust. Understand that? You got to get beyond your feelings. If you're going to do some great things. Anybody here want to do anything great for God? Now there's one thing to be blessed. Everybody wants to be blessed. You'd have to be mental not to want to be blessed of God. Something's wrong with you. I can't fix you. Something's wrong with you. I can't fix what's wrong with you. If you don't want to be, why wouldn't you want to be blessed of God? I want to tell you something, folks. It goes beyond being blessed. When you get to a place where you're being blessed through. See, that's where Joseph doesn't want to be blessed. Some people want to be blessed and just have it all. You'd have every car there is in Atlanta, Georgia. You'd have cars piled up in your driveway, and then code enforcement would be out there writing you a ticket. Joseph doesn't want to just be blessed. He wants to be blessed through. He wants to be a blessing to his family. And he's going to, and doing that, he's got to get through some hardship. And then he's got to deal with hatred. Every one of us has been done wrong. Somebody, you hadn't done anything if nobody hadn't done anything to you. That's right. You're going to have some people that's going to hate you along the way. Some of you got exes and mother-in-laws and different people that you're struggling with. People from other churches and family members and community members and teachers and politicians and people that borrowed from you and didn't bring your Tupperware bowl back and you're still mad at them. They brought it back but didn't bring the lid. And you're still mad at them. I'll tell you something. If you're going to do great things for God this year, you got to get beyond all that. Amen. God's going to use me to raise up some Josephs. Boy, I'm excited about it. Okay, God's going to use me. To think that God would use this little country boy to help some folks do great things in their life. I believe some folks in my church are going to do some great things. They're going to touch some lives. Not just in this building, but around. Some of you are going to touch lives when you go to these jailhouses and prisons. Some of you are going to touch lives on your jobs and in your community, in your schools. I'm excited about being a part of what God's going to do. I'm not excited about what God's going to do in my life. I'm excited about finally being a grandfather. I want to go beyond being your spiritual father to being some spiritual grandfather, watching you be a blessing. That's where I want to go in 2018. I want to see you be a blessing to other people. I want to see God blessing through your life. And so this morning we're going to talk about Joseph's haters. Joseph had some haters in his life. And so that's the first area we're going to cover. I feel sorry for those of you that don't have haters. You poor little things. Bless your hearts. Some of you don't have any. Some of you in this building, everybody likes you. Well, not everybody. There will be haters. If you accomplish anything good in your life, you're going to have some haters. Just go ahead and get used to it. It ain't a bad thing, folks, to have some haters. I believe you can gauge your success by how many haters you have. Do little things, got little haters. You do big things, you're going to have some haters. You don't believe me? Ask Donald Trump. I don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat or a bow weasel. I can care what your little bumper sticker is. But I can't understand a man that's doing a good job. I don't care the color of his skin. I don't care if he was a zebra and he was doing good. He's all right with me. Amen. Well, that's weak. I don't really care. We're paid off now. We can say what we want. Some of you live in a fantasy world. You live in a fantasy world thinking everybody's going to love you. And you can't deal with it. You want to do great things for God, but your skin is so thin. I mean, it don't take much to bruise you, honey. I know when we get older, we can bump up against something and it leaves a bruise on us. But some of you, your skin is so thin. You need to have some thick skin if you're going to do some good things and great things for God this year. And so to think everybody's going to love you and like you and be your friend, honey, you're mistaken. Not everybody's going to be proud of you. Not everybody's going to rejoice over your accomplishments. Honey, it just isn't so. Right. Well, maybe I'll find something you'll understand in a minute. Let me prove it to you. This is what Jesus said. I didn't say this. Buddha didn't say this. Muhammad, if they had, I wouldn't have been quoting it no how. But Jesus said this. Jesus said, "Woe! Woe unto you when all men speak well of you." Somebody's getting a phone call. You might answer that or cut it off. Barry, that ain't you, is it? Okay. Jesus gave a warning. This is what he warned. You better be careful. It's okay, folks. Go ahead and answer it. Cut it off. Jesus said you better be aware. You be careful when everybody's saying good about you. Something's not right with you when you can please everybody, folks. I'm going to tell you something. People say, well, preacher, does everybody say good things about you? Oh, no, I don't want to. I want to make somebody mad every once in a while. Yes, sir. When everybody's saying something good about me, I'm not doing my job here at this church. I'm supposed to ruffle some feathers here at this place. I'm supposed to make you uncomfortable in this place. It's not my place. These preachers want everybody to feel good. Oh, you're blessed, you're blessed, you're blessed. You house hot plant, shame on you. Haters come with success. It comes with it, folks. You cannot be a successful in business, in your community, in your church, and not have some folks that hate you. It's going to happen. You're going to have it. They're on your job, and unfortunately, they're even in your church and in your family. Amen. You don't have to do something wrong to have haters. You need, if you're taking notes, or if you want to go back and listen to it again, if you don't get anything out of this message, you hear what I just said. You don't have to do anything wrong to have haters in your life.
That's right.
You just keep doing right, and the haters will hate you. See, it's bothered you. It's bothered you that some family members are mad at you. It's bothered you that some folks don't like you. Some folks got jealous of you. And it's bothered you, but I want to tell you something, folks, it goes along with it. You don't have to do anything wrong for folks to hate you. Just do something right, and some people are going to hate you. You're not going to arrive financially or spiritually if you don't have haters. Here, you're not there. You're not arrived yet. If you don't have some people hating you on the way, you're not going nowhere. And so, instead of being upset about all these haters, just start celebrating them.
Yeah.
Thank you back there in the back. I found out there's two kinds or groups of people in this world, the blessed and the haters. Amen?
Amen.
Look with me in Genesis chapter 37, verse number 4. Talking about Joseph here now, talking about his brothers. But when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than all his brothers, they hated him and could not speak peaceably to him. Now, when you just leave that up there for a little while, when you look at this verse, I've heard preachers preach it, and I've heard people say, man, Jacob just showed partiality, and that was wrong, and he shouldn't have loved Joseph more than the other brothers, and it caused division in the family, and he shouldn't have done all those things, and it just caused problems among that family. But the Scripture says that Joseph his brothers hated him because he's loved.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
Haters hate that you're loved.
Yep.
People are going to hate you because somebody loves you.
Yep.
Joseph is hated because Jacob loves him. You know what? Haters never stand back and say, why does Daddy love him more than he does us? You ever thought about asking that question?
Yep.
Why does Jacob love Joseph more than he loves us? Instead of just trying to bring Joseph down on their level, why don't they find out what it is that makes Joseph so lovable and duplicate it?
Amen.
Some of you just, when somebody on your job gets promoted, oh, you just turn into hating. Oh, I just despise them. They were born with a silver spoon in their mouth. They always get the break. I'm telling you, I'll never get the break. They always get the break. Why don't you find out what they're doing? See, when you take an extra 5 minutes for break, they don't.
Yeah.
When you take an extra 15 minutes for lunch, they don't. When you show up late for work, they don't. When you stay out, they don't. You ever stood back and say, you know what? Maybe they're doing something right, I'm doing something wrong, and find out what they're doing and try to do that. Verse number 3, we're going to go backwards for a little bit. Verse number 3. You don't have a verse number 3. You should have verse number 3. Verse number 3 says that Joseph brought a bad report to his father by his brother. Boy, you're talking about causing problems now. Now, I've heard preachers preach this too. Joseph shouldn't have done that to his brothers. Shouldn't have I've heard people say, oh, he went and tattletaled on his brothers. I've heard people just tear old Joseph up and say, you know, Joseph shouldn't have done that. That's causing problems. So if you see your brothers and sisters down there at the club and they're all drunk, you shouldn't tell on them. You ought to just let them get drunk and go kill themselves.
Yeah. Come on.
You see your brothers taking dope, you ought not say anything. Don't tell mom and daddy. See, that's what your siblings want you to do. Don't tell mom. How many's ever been told by your siblings, don't tell mom and daddy? I'm going to tell Daddy on every one of you that does something wrong in 2018. I'm going to tell on you. went back to his daddy. His brothers are just no good. They ain't worth a dime. They're no good. And Joseph went back and told his daddy, I love them boys, but they ain't no good. That's what happened, folks. They're not doing anything with their lives. God has promised us. This is what Joseph says. God has promised us that if we will obey Him, we can eat of the fat of the land.
Amen.
Them boys ought to be living like I'm living, Daddy. Got the same mama, got the same daddy, got the same promises, got the same God, live in the same place. They're not doing anything with their life. And Daddy, you better get a hold of them. You better straighten them up, or this whole concept of the blessings of Abraham ain't going to go nowhere. See, some of you was to catch your best friend cheating on his spouse. You ain't going to say nothing. Let me see you. Let me catch you. I'm telling your business. Don't let me see you coming out of her house. I'm going to get on the phone, call your wife, and say that joker down there cheating again. No, we won't do that. We'd rather see people go to hell than get involved. Let me tell you, we see people messing up, but we won't say nothing. Because you know why? We want to have friends. Oh, I'll tell you what, a good friend, I'll tell you when your ways of your error. A good friend will tell you that's wrong. A good friend will say you're going the wrong way. A good friend, somebody that really loves you. See, a real brother. Joseph's a real brother. He went to his daddy and said, Daddy, in verse number 3, he went back to and said, Daddy, he said, my brothers are not doing right. They're doing wrong. And the brothers got mad at him.
Yeah.
So you want me to stay your friend? I smell liquor on your breath, but I ain't supposed to say nothing. You better not come up in here.
That's right.
I'm going to call you out. This in the church you want to come and play in 2018. I'm going to tell Daddy on you. I'm going to tell Daddy. I'm not going to say anything. Some of you young people, you see your friends, you know they're doing drugs, but you won't tell nobody. And because you don't want to lose them as a friend, you're going to lose a friend. They're going to bury that friend. Let me tell you something. I'd love rather for somebody to tell on me, and me get in trouble, and me don't get to do a little few activities at school, and me being a rehab or being in prison somewhere. I want to tell you, a true friend will stand up and say you're wrong. A true friend will say that's not the way you ought to be doing things. That's true friendship. Oh, you say, well, it's not my business. You want to make it your business when you want it to be your business. Let me tell you something. Joseph went to his father and said, Father, these brothers are just no good. They're doing nothing with their lives. God's promised him that if they would obey him, they would eat of the fat of the land. Joseph tells his fathers that his brothers are not doing right. Haters will always call you out, but don't you think about calling them out.
Yeah.
Joseph's brothers don't have any problem calling Joseph out, but when Joseph turns that thing around and goes to them, let me tell you, folks that hate you will always tell you what you're doing wrong. Them was my kids. Well, honey, they ain't. They ain't your kids. Well, this is how I would do that. They don't mind calling you out, but the first time you call them out, oh, haters are going to get mad at you. Because, see, haters can't ever do anything wrong. See, good people always want to get better.
Yeah.
I said, you Christians that arrive, I'm a long ways from arriving. I'm just now at the airport. I'm a long ways from arriving. But some folks think they've arrived. Instead of becoming like Joseph, they want Joseph to become like them. That's the way of haters. Haters don't want to move up to where you are. They want to always bring you to where they are. Anybody got, see, some of you while I'm preaching, you done thought about 2 or 3 people that's in your life. They want you to be like them. They can't imagine becoming more like you. Joseph wants to be godly. His brothers wants to be worldly. But Joseph is willing to go along to please God. In 2018, listen folks, if you're going to still get this mentality, I want to run with the crowd. And some of you young people, you want to blend in. I've told you this and I'm going to say it again. God's not looking for somebody to blend in. God's looking for somebody that'll stand out. And when you stand out, let me tell you something, you have to stand alone. When you're standing with a crowd, they're not going to notice you. You got to do something everybody else is not doing. And you're not a leader if you're following this ever fad and everything that's cool and everything that's happening. Joseph was willing to go it along if he has to. And that's what he had to do. His other 11 brothers said, you're not going to have anything to do with us. And Joseph said, you don't have to worry about that because I want to do right. Because God said, if we would obey Him, we're going to eat of the fat of the land. I'm not going to go your ways. And haters will always try to pull you into their pack. Because that's the way haters run. They run in packs. The old saying, misery loves company. You see, haters always got another hater. Do you see that? Yes, I saw that. I saw that. Do you see it? Yes, I saw it. Do you see what they had on? I saw it. You see it? Like a bunch of old coyotes. Anybody got any coyotes around them? Some of them old coyotes get out there hollering out in my backyard. I hear them old rascals. Oh, they don't holler along. They just like to get a pack of them. They like to run in packs. But let me tell you something. Like Joseph, I'm too busy for company. So you folks of misery, I don't have time to visit the haters and hear how they are victims all the time. It's a shame. People claiming Christ as their very own, still acting like they don't even know Him. Out of your mouth produces of life, of death and life, and the power of the tongue. See that, folks? I know I'm blessed. I know that. You don't have to tell me. I don't have to get the t-shirt. I know I'm blessed. Let me tell you why I'm blessed. I got a beautiful wife that lives with Jesus. Boy, I'm blessed. We was up in North Georgia, and one of the boys with me telling about how his daughter lives, or sister lives in a very nice community in the Buckhead area, and it's a gated community. It's governor's mansions there. She lives close to the governor. And boy, and I thought, man, that's really nice. Houses starting $2.5 million up. And I thought, man, that's really good to know somebody lives in there. And the thought hit me, man, my wife lives with Jesus. Wow. My wife lives with Jesus. Let's see y'all top that. Ain't nobody in this car can top that. Y'all live over here still paying taxes. You still got to have a roof. You still got to pressure wash your driveway. You still got to repair that old house. You still got to pay taxes and insurance. Oh, but I got a wife. She's living with Jesus now. I got a mom and dad that lives with Jesus. I got 3 nieces and 2 nephews and 2 brothers. They also live with Jesus. They live in a gated community with streets of... Man, I'm so blessed. I tell you, I'm somebody. I'm not going to walk around here in 2018 acting like I ain't nobody. If that makes you mad, you just stay mad. Amen. We'll give you a lollipop so your lip will look, have a reason to poke out. Amen. But I'll tell you, I'm a blessed man. Amen. This morning, my wife walks on streets of gold. Whoa, hallelujah. You wouldn't believe the friends I got there. And some of them, I preached their funeral and they got there. Everyone that's ever, I've had plenty of members already got master's degrees. So living in heaven. I got friends in high places this morning. Wow! I got to thinking, man, I need something from heaven. I got some pull. That's right. I don't care what you believe. It don't make no difference to me. Some of you think folks still stand the grave. Somebody bought me a bench the other day to take it up and top the paddock. I said, I'm going to put that thing over with them roses so I can look at them roses in my yard. You're not taking up the grave? I said, for what? I said, you can top the paddock. The paddock ain't up there. Yeah, she's buried over at Fairview. Her body's buried there, but I'll tell you what, she's more alive today. She's in heaven. And if I need something, I just send old Patty over there. But a lot of times, I'd send Patty to the lawyer's office. I'd send Patty to the courthouse. Patty did a lot of errands for me. Oh, I'm telling you what now, man, I got mom and daddy's there, got Patty there, got 2 brothers there, got 3 nieces there, 2 nephews there, got a whole bunch of friends. Man, I can't help but be blessed. My Lord, I tell you, you know what today it says in order to get into some place you got to know somebody. If that's the case, I can get in. Whoa! Oh, I'm telling you, I got folks already living in glory. Isn't that wonderful? Folks, instead of mourning over your loved ones, you ought to be rejoicing over. I tell you ones you ought to be crying over. These babies is about to be born. Them ones you need to be worried about. You don't need to be worried about things that done went on with Jesus. I'm telling you, they're doing pretty good today. I mean, right now they're sitting down at the, what time is it? Oh yeah, they get ready to sit down at the dinner table. Oh my goodness, what a time they're having over yonder. Amen. We don't need to weep for them. We need to weep for these that stay. So you ask, how am I blessed? They could be in hell. They could be in hell, but my loved ones are mom and dad. How, you know for sure? Oh, I know 100% sure. You know your wife's in heaven. Ain't no doubt in my mind. Did your two brothers make it? Ain't no question about it. Yes. Glory to God. I'll tell you, I'm living the life this morning. Woo! Hey, look at me. I'm living the life this morning. I'm telling you what, all I got to do is, man, you know they'll take care of me. Oh, my daddy, he can almost out-talk God. Folks that know my daddy, ain't that right, Brother Paul Shelton? Yes. Amen. Oh, I'm blessed this morning. Oh, they could be somewhere else, but they're not. I'm blessed. If anyone here is blessed, does anybody have anybody that's living in glory this morning?
Hallelujah.
Aren't we blessed people?
Yes.
I ain't going to ask you folks if that people in here. I don't know where you Jehovah's Witnesses go when y'all die. 7-Eleven, I guess. I don't know where y'all go. Oh, you poor miserable people. My haters thought surely I'd fall out with God when I lost my wife. But like Joseph, I told on you. I heard some of them talking. I heard some of my haters talking. I heard them say, oh, it won't be, he'll be in the bars. He'll be in the nightclubs. Oh, he'll be looking for a wife in a few days. I heard you. Now I went and I told Daddy on you. I said, Daddy, I don't even believe it. Daddy, you might want to question Mama. They don't look nothing like you, Daddy. Hey, I don't know if they're yours. I told Daddy that. I said, Daddy, they don't act like us. We're blessed people. They're haters, Daddy. I had folks that said, oh, he's going to be mad at God. But I want to tell you something. This morning, I tell you, I'm rejoicing to the fact that I've got more to go to heaven for today than I had yesterday. All my haters thought I'd fold up and quit. Walk away from my ministry. I'm not walking away from the ministry. I'm running to the ministry. Hallelujah. Verse number 5, she's got it up there already. Haters will hate you even more when you have dreams.
That's right.
Hear me? They hated him because he was loved. Isn't that a poor? I don't like him. Everybody loves him. But that's about the stupidest thing you could have ever came. Did you come up with that all by yourself, or did it take a couple of y'all? Listen how ridiculous this sounds coming from Joseph's brothers. And you wouldn't think Christians would act like this, but here's the guys, the 12 tribes of Israel. Here's what we're talking about, Brother Pat. We're talking about the 12 tribes of Israel. We're talking about Abraham's seed. We're talking about the 12 pillars in the temple. We're talking about the mighty leaders of Israel. Here's what they're saying. They're making comments like this. We don't like him because he's loved. Oh, I've been in church most of my life. Some folk get mad because somebody comes in and they ain't been there for 2 weeks and they get on the praise team. I've been here 3 years and they didn't even ask me to sing. We heard you in the fellowship hall. Might want to find something else to do, honey. Singing ain't your thing. Glory to God. Isn't that a shame that somebody would hate you because you're loved? But Joseph's brothers hated him because Jacob loved him. You know what I want to find out? I want to find out why he's loved so much. And I want to see if I can be loved like he is. I want to do what he's doing. Instead of hating the man for it, find out if I can be loved. I might be loved if I just change the way I talk to people. I just quit being so rude.
Yeah.
Some of you trying to learn how to speak in tongues. You don't need to learn how to speak in tongues. You need to learn how to hold your tongue. Well, we shout now. Are we having a time? We're having a time. I tell you, some of you are going to wet on yourself if I don't hurry up. And you're having so much fun here. Haters are going to hate you. You think you've been hated because your daddy loves. Some folks hate you because daddy loves you.
Yeah, that's right.
You know when some of them started hating when you got saved?
That's right.
Long as you was acting a fool like them, drinking like them, doing what they were doing, oh, you were one of them. But as soon as you got saved, wouldn't go to the club with them, wouldn't do no more dope with them, wouldn't drink with them no more, they don't like you. Oh, you think, you know what they say? They think they're too good for us. I didn't say that, but since you brought it up, you're right. I am too good to hang out with you buzzards and you turkeys and you chickens. I became an eagle. Amen. And we don't live like y'all live. Verse number 5 says, now Joseph had a dream and told it to his brothers. Look at here now. Look at here. And they hated him even more.
That's right.
Amen.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't think they could hate me anymore more than they did. But yes, see when you start having dreams. If folks, let me tell you something. You folks that haven't been hated by your family yet, you're rookies.
Yes.
You don't know nothing about hate. Somebody hated you at the ball field. You poor little thing. They hate me on my job. They're jealous of me on my job. My community is jealous of me. Let me tell you something. You're still a whippersnapper.
Man.
You hadn't been hated yet until your family hates you. How many's had family members that hated you? Oh, y'all go to church together. You don't want to say nothing. I won't. Tell Daddy. Tell Daddy. Tell Daddy. You hadn't been hated yet until you've been hated by your family. Joseph is hated by his own brothers. Look at what the scripture said. They hated him even more. We hate him because Daddy loves him more. Daddy loves him more because he's better than the rest of y'all scoundrels. You say, now God doesn't love more people better. He loves everybody the same. Where'd you get that in the Book of Mormon? I ain't never read that. Oh, God loves us all the same. That sounds good in Sunday school, I guess. He said this, he said, Jacob I love and Esau I hate. Listen, God has no respect of person when it comes to salvation. We all can be saved the same way, but I'm going to tell you something. There are some that are just special to God. Amen. There's some that God, he had 12 of them, but he called Peter and John off to himself. He wanted some fellowship with him. Listen, tell you something, folks. He'll say that every one of us the same. But I want to tell you something. I'm a friend of God.
Amen.
I'm a friend to him. Amen. I talk to him every day. I know he tells me some things that he ain't telling other folks. He gives me some things he ain't giving other. He loves every one of you. Oh, but some folks, he'll take you to the garden with him. He'll take you on the mountain with him. Amen. He does things different for some folks. You know why? Because some folks do something different for him.
Amen.
Some of y'all got kids. If they wasn't yours, you couldn't stand them. Don't everybody shout, hey man, you don't have to say nothing. I'll say it for you. If you wasn't mine, I wouldn't even like you. Then you got a kid that's obedient, a kid that loves you, never forgets your birthday, never forgets Christmas, always trying to do something for you. Oh, we love them both, but there's something different about that one. When I die, you're going to know it too. Gonna leave them all the same? No, I ain't gonna leave them all the same. What kind of man are you? Oh no, man, I'm gonna bless one better than more than another. It depends on how they treat me, how they gonna get treated. Now I know you love your kids. You have a love for all your kids, but I'll tell you something. When you got one that's precious to you, one that's good to you, one that loves you, one that tells you I love you, one that tries to do right, one that is right, one that's special, one that calls you and says, how you doing, Daddy? How you doing, Mama? They're easy loved. Amen? I said they're easy loved. And that's the way it is with God. But his brothers hated him because God loved him, and now they hate him even more, the Bible says, because he has a dream. I'm going to tell you something. You ready for this? Write this down, you girls that write. Some of you take notes. The bigger your dreams are, the more haters you're going to have to hate you.
Yep.
I don't guess nobody hates me. I wouldn't say that. My goodness. Joseph has big dreams. Verse number 8, let me show you something. And his haters hate him. And his brothers said to him, that dream stuff you got, you think you're going to reign over us? You think God's going to raise you up over us? Or shall you indeed have dominion over us? Now, you think hate's all equal. They hated him because his daddy loved him. They hated him because he had a dream. But notice what verse 8 says. So they hate him even more. You haters, you can raise the standard, can't you? When we thought you was about as sorry as you could get, you surprised us. Can you imagine that people... Now, folks, we're not talking about Canaanites and Hittites and Perizzites and Reverend Ike. We're talking about the seed of Abraham. We're talking about 11 people one day that will be pillars in the temple, and they hate their brother. Number one, because Daddy loves him. Number two, because he has a dream. And listen, they raised the standard of hate. The Bible says, and they hated him even more. So they hate him even more for his dreams and for his words. Wow. Instead of his brothers saying, you know, God's blessing old Joseph. I don't know how you operate in things. See, some of you get mad when somebody gets a new car. Let a family member. See, you want your family to be beneath you. And I wished every one of my brothers drove a brand new car and it paid for it. And they could afford gas and tires. Wouldn't have to get nothing from me. Not one thing. I love my nieces and nephews all have homes paid for. Don't ever have to call me one bar thing. My nieces and nephews that listen to me, don't call me. Uncle ain't going to loan you nothing. I ain't going to loan you no money. I ain't going to put you in debt. So don't be calling me. Just call, say how I'm doing. Don't call about no money. You ain't getting no money. Instead of his brothers saying, how come the boy's being blessed? And instead of some of you saying, how does people just come in this church and get promoted like they do? Well, why don't you, instead of getting mad about it, find out? Might be because your attitude's rotten. And they got a good attitude. Maybe because they're more spiritual. Maybe because they don't gossip.
Come on.
You said, some of you get mad. If someone's sitting here, if two homosexuals sitting on this front row, some of you want to get mad. I'd rather have them sitting on the front row and you gossipers sitting on the back row. They're doing a lot more. Them folks ain't going to do nothing to me. I can promise you. They ain't going to lay no hands on me. And I ain't them. I'm going to send him a prayer request. But you gossipers, oh, the damage you do. You know what? One day you're going to stand before God. He's going to say, you murderers. You're going to cry, when did we murder? He's going to say, with your tongues, you shed innocent blood. Gossipers do more damage to a church than adulterers do. Than homosexuals, drunkards, and drug addicts. You bring all them, I can change them. But you gossipers, you see your haters, what you are. We're going to take it a step up. It ain't because you're just gossiper. You're haters. See, the reason, every gossiper I ever met was a hater.
Come on.
I've never met a hater that wasn't a gossiper. Oh, we shouting now. They hate him because they're jealous. And your hater's going to hate you because they're jealous. If your haters are jealous of your dreams, honey, what are they going to do when the dreams start coming to pass? I believe we're going to wake up this year and start living the dream.
Amen.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lord.
Oh, it's Martin Luther King Day tomorrow. Thought I'd be living the dream.
Yeah.
My Lord, some of us done stepped back in the 60s again. You want to be, I'm telling you, you live like you want, but I'm going to live the dream this year. I said, I want to live the dream this year. Just think about it. If the haters hate you because you have a dream, and see, you got family members. When you get a promotion on your job, they're going to hate you. Oh, you start getting a better car, and they're going to hate you. When you get a better house, if your kids are not giving you fits, they're going to hate you. They're going to talk about your kids. They're going to talk about what your kids... Let me tell you something. You're going to have haters. They're just miserable people, and they're not going to rise up. They're going to try to pull you back to where they are. Haters are just going to hate. But it's me having a dream. There's hatred in the churches. There's preachers that live in hate. Also, there's people that hate what God's doing for us over here. Just wait till you get on Facebook and start telling this place is paid for. Oh my God. They're going to have diarrhea with hemorrhoids. It's going to be the office weeping their life. All I can tell you, get some of that. Don't go to the top. There's no Dollar General buy no toilet paper. You better go to Kroger. Get you some of that good stuff. Amen. You're going to need it, honey. Haters are going to hate. Haters never want a life that is rich with joy and peace and love, so they seek to bring you under where they are, not to their level, but beneath you. Joseph's brother says, this is what we need to do to him. Daddy loves him. He's got a dream. He's going to do something great in the life. Let's put him in a pit. Let's put him back. Let's put him beneath us. Let's put him under us. And that's not enough. Let's sell him as a slave. Let's make him less so maybe we can be more. See, a lot of folks, instead of you finding out why somebody's doing good and rising up to where they are, you want to bring them down under you so it makes your sorry self look good where you are. See, some of you big girls don't want no skinny girlfriends. Some of you poor folks don't want nobody in your life that's got something. You want to find somebody less than you so you can stay like you are.
That's right.
Come on.
That ain't preaching this. That won't preach right here. That's what Joseph's brothers want. They want to put him in a pit. They want to make a slave out of him so they don't have to do it. They look good to daddy. How many times you've heard, oh, them old hypocrites over the church, I'm as good as they are. Wow, didn't you raise the bar in your life? I hear that from people. I'm as well as those hypocrites. If they're going to heaven, I don't have any problem. That's what you want to gauge your life on?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to find the best Christian in this building and say, what can I be? How can I be like them? That's what I want. I want to find the most blessed person in this building, and I want to hang out with them, and I want to find out what they're doing and see if I can't do it and see if I can't get what they got. Amen? I ain't going to hang around with y'all miserable cuss all the time. I ain't got nothing going on in your life. You're just down and out and poor old you. Nobody loves you. I want to get around the blessed and figure out why they're being blessed, and I'm going to do the same thing they're doing because God is not a respecter of person. And if the other 11 had done like Joseph did, they'd have had what Joseph had. It's good, preacher. I don't care if you don't like it. Come on. Haters never take responsibility for being wrong. They ain't never wrong, folks. They won't never take responsibility. Instead, they try to justify their actions.
Amen.
I'm finishing right here. How do you spot haters? How do you spot them? Haters are always victims. Always. They're victim-minded. Nothing is ever their fault. Well, the reason I bumped your car because you parked it there. Really?
Yeah.
Well, the reason I said that is because somebody said something to me. They're victims. And the world's filled with people that are victims. You're not going to be a Joseph being a victim. You can be one of his brothers. Haters are always victims. Nobody ever speaks to me at church. Well, I don't have that problem. I don't remember. Did I speak to you first or you spoke to me for a while? No, we both spoke, so it don't really matter. I guess it doesn't.
That's right. That's right.
Victims. And it's not just in the world, the marketplace, and the community. It's in the church. Some of you just are poor old victims. They're always envious of other people's blessings. They're always gossipers. I said it earlier, I'll say it one more time. I've never met a hater that was not a gossiper. I'll tell you something. You're gonna get some people's going to try to bring you into their world of gossip. Did you hear about so-and-so? You know, I love the way Patty handled people. You know, she never took no courses. She never went to school on all this. It was just natural for her. She was the type, if you came to Patty and said, did you hear about so-and-so? She said, I don't know, but let's go get him and see. Then she, Brother Ryan, that's the way she operated. Let's go get him and see. Let's let them be here. Let's ask him if they did that. It'd be a good practice for us all.
Yep.
If you come gossiping to me, I'm going to tell Daddy on you. Did you hear about so-and-so? Every hater. See, some of you, it's okay if you got it, but let somebody else get, and you want to tear that person down. Quit trying to tear people down and build people up, and meanwhile, build your own self up with them. Haters never build up anybody. They're always cutting people down. See, Joseph's brothers, they want to put him in a pit. They want to sell him as a slave. Because if we can keep him beneath us, we look pretty good. You know, my truck sometimes, I think, oh, truck looks pretty good. I've had that truck a long time, almost 300,000 miles on it. It looks pretty good. Boy, you drive it up there at that car dealership with them new ones. Excuse me, I'm going to park my truck over here to McDonald's and walk. I'll be right back. It looks good at the junkyard. When I go to the dump, it looks good as anything's dumping up there. Folks, find you somebody that's going somewhere in their lives. Find someone that loves Jesus. Find someone that's filled with joy. Quit hanging out with buzzards. Quit hanging out with turkeys. Find you somebody that's doing something, that's building up people, that's living the good life, and say, I want to be more like you. Haters they're always bringing people down even further than where they are, so it makes them look good. They never find happiness in anything or anyone. The only people they find happiness is in people like them. I told you they run in packs. Haters like to have other haters. Just little old chihuahuas nipping at the heels all the time. It was too loud. Yes, it was. It was too long. Didn't you notice? You pitiful creature. You pitiful creature. You don't have to live like that the rest of your life. Somebody's come to expose it, to tell Daddy that you know, folks, I told you, there's two kinds of people, haters and people that are blessed. But on the road to greatness, if this is where you want to go this year, you're going to have some haters along the way. The greater your vision, the more haters you're going to have. Stand with me this morning. Musicians, come on. Yes, hurts on you. You know, you got folks that claim to be your friends, and boy, y'all all friends in the break room until you get a promotion. And then they don't speak to you no more. They are haters. Let me tell you what, people that has a spirit of love, and they're glad for you. They'll tell you, man, I'm grateful for you. I tell my friends, and you know, I told the church once tonight when one of the boys that sat right in front of me just won a lawsuit over a drug company. $650 million lawsuit, and they gave him 3% of it. 3% don't sound like much, does it? But it was $650 million. It's over $18 million he got for winning that case. And I'm glad for him.
Yes.
Amen.
I'm glad for him.
Yes.
My buddy's just leaving February. He's going to China. He'll be there for 3 weeks. And he's got a lady that's going to do some investment in this country. He's bringing back $100 million. I didn't say $1 million. He's bringing back $100 million to invest in her. Of course, she can't leave that country until that money comes back. They hold her hostage. So you Jane Fonda crowd that thinks this is a bad country, you don't know what bad is. This is the greatest, still the greatest country in all the entire world. You know what I told him? He said, his partner said, he asked his partner, I said, y'all want to go with me? My partner said, man, I ain't about to go with you. He said, you don't even know where you're going. He said, I ain't about to go over there. He said, because you get in trouble. He said, I can't help you. You know what I told him? I said, every day you're there, I'll pray for you.
Amen.
But see, he can't buy that. Well, he's coming back with $100 million investment in this lady. Well, I can say, he thinks he's better than me. I love him. He's my friend. I'm proud for him.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I hope he makes $100 million. I'm proud of him. I'm not jealous of him. I'm proud of him. See, some of you get a little jealous because somebody gets a new car, a new truck, a new job. That's haters, folks. Those are haters. That's a hatred spirit.
Amen.
But if you got family members that's prospering, man, be glad for them.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
right.
Thank you, Father.
First step in Joseph's life. This is where you're going to need help right here. If you've not been hated by your family, you're a rookie. This is what the Lord said to me. He said, you didn't start Christ Community Church. I said, I didn't. I know, Lord, there was 30-something of us, counting the kids, that first service. Now, maybe they started. He said, no, they didn't start it either. I said, they didn't? He said, I started. You really think you could have done all this on your own? Well, I know that I couldn't have done that. I couldn't have done any of this. It's all a miracle. I know you started. He said, I started that church myself. I planted that church. That's why I put my name on it. It ain't Johnson Road First Church. It ain't Assembly Church, Baptist Church, Methodist Church. It's Christ Church. Got my name on it. I named it myself. It's mine. This is the year 2018, I believe with all my heart. I've been through as much, Betty, you and I have been through as much as anybody has. Brother Tommy, you're going through it. Brother Carl, you've been through it. We know what it is to go through it. Brother Tommy's right where all of us has been. A week ago, lost his wife. 37 years they were married. He's going through it. I don't have to hype you up. I don't have to get up here and do like a lot of them preachers that just hype everybody up, get them feeling good for a few days, get you to give, I don't have to do all that. I told you, we're sitting pretty good right now. We're sitting real good right now, be honest with you. We're sitting real good. This is what my friend said. He said, I want you to find your first person in your first family in the church that wants to practice debt-free living, that wants to get out of debt. He said, I want your church to be the first church in America that ever members debt-free. So we can advertise to the body of Christ there's a church where every member of that church has no debt. This is a God thing right here, folks.
Amen.
It's a God thing. But for you to move into the place where Joseph moves into a place where he's a blessing. Now, God ain't looking for folks He can bless. I know you heard that this morning before you came to church. The preachers was preaching that. And then they told you at the end, send them $1,000. They lied. They lied. I'll tell you what it's going to take for you to be blessed. You got to get past the haters. Some of you have been hated by your sister. I'm not talking about your church sister. I'm talking about your immediate family. Your sisters, your brothers, and they hate because, see, Dad, you didn't give Mom and Dad as much trouble as they did. You didn't run off to leave Mom and Daddy. You helped Mom and Daddy. When they were off acting crazy, when Mom and Daddy was sick, you stayed by Mom and Daddy's bedside. And when Mom and Daddy passed away, funeral director had to keep them from crawling in the casket. That wasn't love, that was guilt. But some of you, you're going to do great things. And I'll tell you something, preacher, pastor knows what it is to be hated by his family. You folks that haven't been hated by your family, you just rookies. That's all you are. You haven't been hated yet. But in order to move, you have got to let this, we can't go into next Sunday still, everybody, Jesus had haters. And we ain't got no Jesuses in here. I said, we don't have no baby Jesuses in this church. Y'all more like Peter than you are Jesus. He had haters. Every person that's ever done anything for God had haters. But you know what Jesus said? Oh Israel, how often would I have gathered you as a hen gathered her own, but you would not. That's His greatest pain. I'm talking to some people today that after today you got to quit talking about it. You got to quit telling about it. There's some people still telling about what Daddy done to them, and what Mama did to them, and what brother did to them, and what sister did to them, and what nephew done to them, and what cousin. Listen, they borrowed that money 20 years ago. They ain't gonna pay you back. Forget it. Just don't loan them no more. Even if they get saved, don't loan them to them. Might make them backslide. There's somebody here today, you need a healing. If you're going to move into the place where Joseph moved, you got to say, God, I know what it is to have family, friends. I don't know what it is to have a spouse that says they love you and walk away. I've never experienced that. I guess it's something like having one to die. I don't know what that feels like. But I'm here to tell somebody, you got to let that go if you're going to move on in 2018. I can't carry you to the promised land when you're letting haters control your life. But if you want to be free from all that, you need to come on up here this morning and say as Joseph did, Lord, touch me today.